Hey guys, I promised you I was going to give you raw information and just be very transparent with all of you. My whole purpose, my point, everything that I do is, I want to be myself. And I'm not a professional speaker. I'm not a professional interviewer. I'm not a professional of social media person, right? Marketing or whatever you want to call it. But I am a professional entrepreneur. I do run 3 real companies, the Mortgage Guys, Ambiance Realty, and Driven Enterprises. All of them, I started from scratch, no money. I didn't borrow any money from anybody. I didn't have an investor that gave me money. Nada. All self-earned income. All properties that I bought were bought with my own money. And I started everything. I didn't have the blueprint. I didn't have the information, but I had the commitment. So what I did is I came up with Driven. See my Driven pen? I came up with the word with the word driven, and it started with drive, and then I added the N. So it was going to be called Drive, but I ended up adding the N. Then the Mortgage Guy was the Mortgage Guy, but then it became the Mortgage Guys because I added the S. And one thing to be very clear about all of you watching this is every day is different. So some days you're gonna catch me like screaming and being like, yeah, in your face and just throwing things at you. And I'm doing all that stuff because that's the way I feel at the moment. I'm normal. I'm a human being like all of you. And I have my ups and downs. I battle with problems just like everybody else. So today is just a day. It happens to be a Sunday. And what I like to do Sundays is work on systems. If you see this, it says the Mortgage Guys Systems Operations Manual. So every time you have a problem in your business, you add, you'll see a lot of pages right here, watch. You see all these white pages? They're all blank. And I have a page that I wrote notes on right here, this one, and this one. So all of these are gonna be added to my systems manual. See this? So this operations has, has view corrections right there. I have a table of contents, goes on and on. Look at all that. Look at all these pages. So I could go on and on. We have this manual. It's close to 100 pages. So the Mortgage Guy, we added an S that made a huge difference. And one of my mentors, Patrick but David, who I really appreciate and love the guy, we're very alike, and he gave me the idea, why don't you add an S? Because people are a big ego person, powerful people are not gonna wanna work for Albert. Who's the Mortgage Guy? It's Albert. Nobody's gonna wanna go and work for Albert. But when you add an S and you make it a company, people want to work for the company. So that's where it all began. When we make that change, it turned our company from generating 7 figures to last year, first year we generated 8 figures. Okay, 8 figures, that's a big number. That's 10 million. 10 million in revenue. And it had to do with the S. It had to do with the S. And guess what? I didn't just go home and changed it from one day to the other. I wasn't just like, hey, I'm going to add an S to this company because Patrick told me. I had to think about it. It took me months, probably like 6-8 months until I took action. I was like, we're gonna do it. Maybe a year, actually. So, like I said, if you're not doing this right now, if you're not focused, if you don't have the data, the information, it's okay. It's okay. Like you're gonna get there. You're gonna get there, but the faster you apply it, the faster you're gonna get results. So this video is more for people that have a business and you're going through some growing pains right now. You're going through some problems, or you're not growing fast enough. you're stuck. Maybe you're capped at 300,000, a million, or 3 million, or something like that. And you're capped, and you have employees and salespeople that come and go. So look, like I said, I wasn't born an expert. But I've been fortunate enough to make mistakes and learn from the mistakes. And I still make a ton of mistakes. And when I make a mistake, I fix it. If it's a valid point, I'll fix it. That's why ethics is number one. Ethics is number one. So when there's a mistake, if somebody's gonna talk dirty about you and they have a valid point, then show your face and go fix it. If it's your fault, if you messed up, go fix it. But if you have these haters and quitters and losers that are making bad remarks and they're quitters, losers, and just stupid people, just disregard them, block them, eliminate them from your life, and that's it. Move on. They're never gonna go away because they're never gonna go away until they stop you. But listen to this: if they can't stop you, which I mean, they're never gonna stop me. And powerful people like Patrick, like Ed Milet, like Grant Cardone, and on, they're never gonna stop these guys. And they're always gonna get haters, because the more fame you get, the more successful you become, the more wealth you create, the more haters you're gonna have. Because that's what haters do, what losers, quitters, and stupid people. So just ignore them, block him, and move on. They create a fake account, block him again. I'm sure, they're gonna watch this video, so just learn from this. Look, my heart is here because I have a good heart and I wanna give it to you guys, and I wanna help you guys grow. I wanna help you guys be more successful. And like I said in my previous videos, I'm just a normal dude. For those of you that are just finding me, I have 3 companies. 4th would be my real estate investing, but 3 real companies. What I mean by real companies is are companies that have employees. You have systems, you have a corporation, you have a website. A lot of people, anybody can go and file a corporation, open a business, and you're not gonna have any, that's not a real business. But there's this, we could just go and talk more about it, and it's gonna be a long conversation, but I'm not here to talk about that topic. What I wanna do is, I wanna help you guys, if you're capped at 300K, a million, 3 million, and you're wondering, man, how do I grow? How do I grow? And look, reality is that I've been fortunate to become friends with a Patrick Bet-David, with a Grant Cardone, with a Brad Lee, with a Ty Lopez, with an Ed Milet. I was just at Ed Milet's house a couple days ago, last week, and we spoke for hours and hours and hours. And let me tell you something, this guy is extreme power, and he's so knowledgeable. Just being around these people, it flows you a lot of power. It makes you grow. It forces you to grow more. And that's the reality, and one thing, Ed Milet and Patrick Bet-David, they both they remind me a lot of myself, and we're very unique, very similar. So these guys are animals, and I learned from a lot of people, guys. I learned from the Wolf of Wall Street. He lives in this building. Lewis House I just had. So all of these things I'm throwing at you just so you understand that who I am. I do have credibility. I've earned it. I've had ups and downs. I failed. I was homeless in 2008 when the recession happened. And now I am where I am because of all the failures, all the mistakes, and all the heart attacks that I battled. So I'm very, very, very excited for this year. 2020 is going to be our biggest year ever, and I want to share something with you guys. If you have a business and you're capped, always be looking for tweaks. What I mean about tweaks is you have to find that tweak that could increase your productivity by 30%. It could increase your performance by 30%, your numbers by 30%, your revenue by 30%. Every month, I'm thinking about what's gonna be my innovative campaign this month. What am I gonna do this month to grow? I'm always looking at numbers. I'm looking at the first quarter, the last quarter. So every year you have 4 quarters, okay? most of you should know this, but if you don't, it's January through March is quarter number 1. Then you have the second quarter of the year, the third quarter, and the fourth quarter. The fourth quarter is the last 3 months of the year. So you have to track every quarter, track every month, track it against last year, and always look at numbers. Markers, you have to have markers. So markers are going to be, at least have 13 markers. By markers, I mean categories. So what are 13 categories that affect your business's revenue, your business revenue? So for example, like if you're in real estate, you're going to track, where am I getting the business? So referral source, that could be one place you track. You could track what cities most of your business is coming from. What ethnicity is most of your business? What lender is closing most of your business? How long are they taking? And all of that. How many, so where are you getting your business from? Could be open houses. It could be social media. So you got to track all of that stuff, and you add it, and then that helps you improve and grow and grow. So that's one thing that I started doing because of Patrick, and I didn't do it right away. It took me some time. I made mistakes. But I want to share this stuff with you guys because I want to help you. And I promise you that I want to give value. So like I said, right now I'm here working on my systems for the mortgage guys. And you'll see here, I have phones, okay? Everything that I do, guys, I learned this stuff from billionaires. People that created billion-dollar, multi-billion-dollar companies and $100 million companies. So I have a phone here. I have another phone here. I have another phone here. A lot of phones, guys. A lot of, like I said, I'm human. I make mistakes. I have another bag right here with more phones. See? Check it out. It's just a lot of phones. So, having said that, all of this, I'm working on this. And for those of you guys that are just finding out about me, look, this is my Ferrari key. This is my Rolls Royce key. The reason why I have this is because right after this, I'm going to take Sil to eat. And this Ferrari key, I'm going to lend it to one of my guys because he has somebody in town. And very special. You know, this is a special guy that has been with our company, came from another country. His girl is here with us visiting this weekend. So I'm going to go ahead and lend him the Ferrari to go take pictures, grab something to eat, and enjoy it, you know? It's she's here for the weekend, and that's the kind of man I am. You guys see my social media, and you see a lot of things that I do, but I have results. I've accomplished a lot, and it never ends. It never ends. People think, well, Albert, if I had 1 Ferrari, 2 Ferraris, a Rolls, and I lived in the 10,000 building, and I had all these companies, and I'm doing driven, and you're selling all these tickets, and people pay you a lot of money for coaching, and you have flows of income coming from all over the place, and you have 2 cute baby girls, and you have your wife. Why don't you stop? Why don't you stop, Albert? Why do you need this $50,000 watch? Why do you need the other watch you have? Why do you need all these things? Why not sell a Ferrari, sell a watch, or move somewhere else, more cheap? Or you employ 100 people. Why not stop? Why not just focus on leave it as is and just take a break? I'm not like that. Why not just keep this video 10 minutes? Because I'm gonna do more. I'm gonna do longer videos. I'm gonna see what happens. I'm doing this because I want to give back. I'm gonna turn this video off and I'm going to start working on this with Sil, who's waiting for me to finish this video. But I want to be real. I want to help you. And this is for people that are starting a business. Starting a business is my passion. Entrepreneurship. I love that. I love it so much. I love entrepreneurship. And I could go on and on and on and on and on with a lot of information. That's why it's so easy for me to go and talk for 14 minutes, for 20 minutes. When I have presentations, I could go on and talk for hours because I have information that I've learned. I named you a bunch of guys earlier. The Ed Milets, the Patrick Bet-Davids, the Grant Cardones, and on and on and on and on. And through them, I met more powerful people. Ty Lopez, Brad Lee, Jordan Belfort, like so many people. And I learn from everybody, but I keep it down to 2 mentors, okay? Those are my 2 mentors that I study every day. And then I learn a lot from everybody else. So I have a lot of information. Bobby Castro, almost forgot about Bobby Castro. Bobby Castro built a $1 billion company, and now we're working on, okay, now you have this company, the mortgage guys. Now you guys are doing 8 figures of revenue. What's next? What investor is gonna cut a check for $75 million, for $50 million to buy a portion of the company, of the equity. 2020, the year that the mortgage guys is going to give equity in the company to people that earn it. Ambiance Realty, same thing. Driven, we're going to do the same thing. Okay, why? Because I understand that more people, more great people is better than just one individual that eats all the cake. You're never going to grow. Like if you guys go back and check out some of my previous videos, mortgage guy, Patrick David told me, is a $10 million company. You add an S, the mortgage guys becomes a $1 billion company. So I have a lot of information, guys. One of the things that I'm doing, that we're working on today, is how to increase productivity. Bobby Castro built a $1 billion company. I have a friend that lives here. You guys have seen his interview on my YouTube channel, Daniel. He owns a very, very powerful company. He's a multi-millionaire. I don't want to give too much of this information because it's a little bit private, but you guys can go and check out my YouTube interview that I did with him. Daniel told me the same thing. These guys run big companies. Bobby Castro sold the company for $1 billion, and that company is worth now close to $2 billion, and it's going to keep growing. He had 500 people that he employed, okay? So it's a big number, and this works. So when those people tell me, Albert, you got to do this, I go and do this. And then I share it with you with an open heart. I'm not going to say things. I learn as I grown. I learned that you have to be very careful with what you say, because now you're we're in the time of social media and technology. So everything you say is going to be recorded, okay? Everything's going to be recorded. People are going to watch it. There's people watching you. And look, you might be thinking, well, Albert, why do you say all your secrets? Your competitor is going to start it. Look, I went through so many quitters, so many poor quitters. And these guys are always just looking for shortcuts, sleeping in the couch, trying to figure out $1 million idea that's going to come from the sky. That's never going to happen. So they have all the time in the world to just talk shit, but they don't do anything face to face. They're little cowards. They're little bitches. And they're always going to be little bitches. So don't be those people. Those people can get the data that I have, can get my information, but they're never going to execute. They lack execution. All they do is talk. So you want to stay away from that and listen to what I'm telling you and execute. So when a person that built $1 billion company, another person that has a company that's worth hundreds of millions, you listen to them. So adding productivity, how do you add productivity in your office? You know, there's a reason why I have these phones. These are going to be company phones, and these are going to increase productivity. So I'll go on and on. That's a whole different topic, but I'll break it down for you. If you guys have any questions, comment below. Okay, I'm going to put this on YouTube. I'm going to put this on IGTV if it allows me. It's 18 minutes and counting, so I'm going to end it at 20 minutes. But remember, guys, this is just life, okay? And you guys have to check with your state, because maybe you're in a different state and they might have different employment guidelines. But the whole purpose of this is to increase productivity. You know, like what happens when somebody in your office or somebody, like, they grab their phone because somebody sends a text. Let's say one of the managers wants to get in touch with your person in processing or front desk or whatever, or HR or whatever. That person grabs the phone, you look at the text message, and then you're like, oh, I have notifications for Facebook, for Instagram, my dad just called me, or my mom, or this or that, or Sil just walked in and interrupted me. And then what happens? Then you start getting, you lose focus. So it's really important to find, like, take a Sunday. Nobody's working today. Most people are enjoying the Sunday. We spent some time with the kids yesterday. We're going to spend a little bit more time later, but before that, we're going to work on our systems. We're going to work on how do we increase productivity? How do we solve problems? How do we get a little bit better? And remember, if you have a successful business, if you're running a company that's $1 million company, you want to come here and say hi to people? Really quick, if you're running $1 million company or a company that's doing 3 million, it's just a video. $3 million company. First of all, if you're running $1 million company, you have something gold. You have something that's great. So focus on this. Stop getting distracted with, I want to invest, I want to get 4 units, I want to do this, I want to open up another business. If you have $1 million company, focus on that company and grow it. Do things like this with your wife. Like, we enjoy doing this, don't we?
Yeah, I love working.
Like, we love working, we love doing these things.
I hate wasting time.
It's you gotta always find solutions. What's gonna help my company grow 30%, 30%?
And you gotta be in a hurry. Because you don't know if you have tomorrow. Right?
That's right. So guys, comment below and trust me on this. Sometimes people are gonna get like mad because they're gonna be like, oh my God, another change in the company, Albert and Sil, or Patrick or Bobby. What's going on with you guys? Why are you keep changing everything? Every month you change. Sometimes you have to change every week. You always have to keep adapting.
Yes.
Change.
Is good.
If you're not changing, you're not growing. So as you grow, you're gonna have to make more changes because now it's more people. Now it's more fires to put out. Now it's more drama here, drama there, issues here, issues there. You're a doctor. If you're the CEO of the company, you're gonna be a doctor, and you're gonna be always, okay, let me check this department, let me check that department. So this is a long video. I hope you guys like it. It's coming from the heart. It's coming from our heart, Sil and Albert, and we're doing this because we want to help those young millennial entrepreneurs. Maybe you're a minority like us. Maybe you're Mexican like myself, like Sil. Maybe you're from Guatemala or from El Salvador or from Nicaragua or anywhere. Or maybe you're from Iran or somewhere else and you're coming to this country and you want to be successful, but you're like, I'm not a white 60-year-old. I'm not a American or whatever. And I'm not, like I said, you have to be very clear with what you say. I'm not saying anybody is better than anybody. I'm just saying the typical successful billionaire or 100 millionaire is a white male. Also for women, if you're a woman and you're watching this and you're thinking, well, I'm not the typical, white man that did it. Look, women are powerful. Young people are powerful. Minorities are powerful. Anybody can do it with the right data. So I'm here to share all that information. I hope this helps all of you. If you have any more questions, you want me to do another video on a different topic and go deeper on it, comment below, give me suggestions, and we're here to help you. Coming from my heart, love you guys. Have a great Sunday.